is Jasmine, and I'm here to present alongside my other two group members, Ellery and Ashley. We're here to present our project for our Biology 1310 course offered in the University of Houston downtown. Our subject today is infertility, focusing on new technologies for women and men.
Hi, my name is Ellery Johnson, and I'm here to just give you a background information on infertility. Infertility is the incapability of conceiving children. Both men and women do present signs. And so right now with our presentation, we're just here to give you new technology, to give you background information and from where it started and also where we're going in the future. Infertility technology starting point started around 1978. Women had already had issues conceiving children, but people didn't know exactly what was going on or what it was. But in 1898, they started out learning that infertility was something that was really important to women, unable to have kids and different things like that. So they built technology around that to help women conceive children. In 1978 was actually the first test tube baby was born in England. And since then, we've had babies born all over. In the U.S., our first test tube baby was in 1981. And there, we just went ahead from there and started building new technology and everything like that. 25 years ago, there was a lot of progress, and they had new technology, beginning with egg freezing and genetic screening and re-energizing aged eggs. And beyond egg freezing, there were just a lot of things that they started doing. Egg freezing was just women putting their eggs on hold or in a ice box to when they were ready to have babies. You thinking 25, 26, am I really ready? Or can I wait a couple years to make sure that you have everything that you need? And with IVF, already using certain technology, it just blossomed from there. A few causes of female infertility could be most common. You have problems with your ovaries, or there's damage to the fallopian tubes or to your uterus, and they even have issues with cervix problems. Age can also be a big factor when it comes to women's infertility, and a lot of time, you just unable to fully carry a baby. And also we have, different other things. You may have cysts on your ovaries. A lot of alcohol use and drug use can also damage a woman's body. And so a lot of stress, and then they have other things with scar tissue and birth defects can be, all these symptoms can just be a woman's issue with having a baby. And also, males are not just, it's not just women. Males have issues too. It causes problems. It might be because of their sperm production. They might have problem with their sperm actually moving to an egg. And their swimming slow. They might have blockage or, other problems that's taken on with men. I know for a fact that I have my own infertility issues where I can't necessarily carry a baby full term. So this project here, it's at home for me. So just to get a lot of knowledge of what new technology has been evolved into is amazing. So I'm going to just go ahead and just let our next person come up to us.
Hi, my name is Ashley Skinner, and I'm going to go over infertility rates as well as new technologies for assistance in both male and female infertility. Infertility rates in the U.S. In the span of 2015 to 2016, the U.S. general fertility rate declined to 62 births per 1,000 women aged 15 through 44, according to the Pew Research Center. On the next page, we have listed an age-specific fertility rates graph Figure 1 shows general fertility and age-specific birth rates by age of mother, United States 2007 to 2016. Now I'm going to talk about the new technologies. One of the new technologies in assisting female infertility is in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization is the process of fertilization by extracting eggs, retrieving a sperm sample, and then manually combining the egg and sperm in a laboratory dish. The new technology is taking a closer look into how the embryo are created and how people can further perform the task on their own. Experts have learned the way to select reproductive cells by choosing only best quality cells, thereby increasing the chance of pregnancy. The new technology can check all chromosomes and detect deviations at the stage of the embryo. Advances in artificial insemination is another step for anyone who wants to experience the joy of parenthood. Also, new technologies assisting female infertility is egg freezing. The idea is that by harvesting and preserving a woman's egg when she's younger to use when she's older, science can get around the natural effects of aging. Although egg freezing is becoming a mainstream medical procedure that some companies are offering as a standard health benefit, it's still invasive and very expensive. It also doesn't guarantee women will become pregnant with their frozen eggs when she uses them in the future. Another technology used is called frozen ovary. And this is aged eggs would take egg freezing a step further. A woman would have a piece of the ovary itself frozen and stored, ideally before her fertility has begun to decline. Unlike egg freezing, freezing tissue from the ovary could help women get pregnant without in vitro fertilization. After doctors thaw the frozen tissue and it's transplanted back into the woman's body, it will hopefully resume normal function again, releasing a mature egg for potential fertilization each month. This procedure, which essentially freezes time for a piece of ovarian tissue so it can pick up right where it left off. More technologies that are used in assisting female infertility are re-energizing aging cells and genetic screening. Re-energizing aging cells is another potential problem with the eggs of older women. Has to do with their mitochondria, part of the cell that generates energy. With age, mitochondria can sustain damage and not work as well, which means cells won't get the energy they need to function. If an older egg has damaged mitochondria, it may not have the necessary energy to develop into a healthy baby after fertilization. For women who don't carry mitochondrial diseases, but whose mitochondria has simply degraded with time, the biotech company Ovascience has developed a somewhat similar procedure. The idea is to give egg cells an energy boost by adding extra mitochondria taken from a woman's own cells without requiring an egg donor. Another addition to in vitro fertilization, which is already in use today, is pre-implantation genetic screening, PGS, which addresses the tendency for older women's eggs to have an abnormal number of chromosomes, which can cause miscarriages. Doctors take one cell from each embryo and analyze the DNA. They then only use the embryos with the normal number of chromosomes.
Hello, this is Jasmine again. I'm here to talk about more in the assistance of male infertility. After an evaluation is done on the male subject, special treatment is recommended for the said person. Everybody has special treatment in this case. Not every treatment works on everybody, so that evaluation is very important to know what kind of problem you have. The treatment of male infertility depends upon the underlying cause. Several months to years of treatment are usually necessary to achieve fertility. Here we have 4 different treatments that can help male reproduction. The first one is the treatment of hypothalamic or pituitary deficiency. With men with this type of infertility, treatment with human chorionic gonadotropin, in short is HCG, often with combination with recombinant human follicle stimulating hormone. This is given to the male subject. The second treatment is the gonadotropin treatment. This treatment is started with injections of HCG 3 times per week for up to 6 months. After this, blood tests are recommended to monitor blood testosterone levels or to adjust the dose. Sperm cells should appear in these tests after about 6 months of treatment. In many cases, a total of 1 to 2 years of treatment is actually needed to achieve the normal fertility most men have. However, the cost of this treatment is very high. We have the third treatment, which is the varicocele treatment. A varicocele is actually a dilation of a vein in the scrotum. This is compared to varicose vein. And also, men that have this problem have a low sperm count. Varicocele can be treated surgically by cutting the veins connected to the varicocele. However, surgery is not often does not always improve fertility, so it's not recommended a lot. And lastly, we have the problem, which is the blockage of the reproductive tract. This problem can be done can be fixed with surgery to correct said blockage. If none of the treatments mentioned before work on the female infertility, assisted reproductive technologies come into play. They can help when the semen in male contains very few or no sperm. The downside to these technologies are that they are very often expensive, and they do not always work as both partners may be expecting it to. The more attempts any of these technologies have, the fewer chances of pregnancy as well. We have 3 ART technologies presented here. The first one is in vitro fertilization. This is one of the most commonly used technique. This goes apart with the intracytoplasmic sperm injection, ICSI. The ICSI is a single sperm from the male partner is injected directly to a woman's egg. This can help a lot if the female also has reproductive problems, so it goes apart with it. The third one is the testicular extraction of sperm. This is pretty much used in if you need like a surrogate or to also help with the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Pretty much the sperm is taken out of the testicles and then is saved until it is needed to use in another technology. When it comes to the risks of these technologies, there are little to no risks for men involved in assisted reproductive technologies. However, they do have a small risk of bleeding, damage to testes, and infection. These are normal risks you take when you are having surgery on your reproductive male organs. Furthermore, there is some evidence that children of couples who become pregnant with ART with ICSI have a slightly higher rate of chromosomal or congenital birth abnormalities and may have a higher rate of lower birth weight. The potential risk should be discussed with an infertility specialist. The risk of these conditions is very low. The last thing we're going to discuss in this presentation is the potential impact of rates on U.S. human population growth. According to the Miami Herald Journal, a country's birth rate is among the most important measures of demographic health. The number needs to be within a certain range called the replacement level to keep a population stable so that it neither grows nor shrinks. If this level is too low, there's a danger that we wouldn't be able to replace the aging work phase and have enough tax revenue to keep the economy stable. Countries such as France and Japan that have had low birth rates have put pro-family policies into place to try to encourage couples to have babies. The flip side can also be a problem. Birth rates that are too high can strain resources such as clean water, food, shelter, and social services. In the conclusion of this presentation, we would like to express the importance of new technologies in our world like today. All technologies were made in a world where birth rates were at an all-time high. However, today it's a different world. For example, the United States is going through a birth rate crisis. The number of women given birth has been declining for years, and it just hit a historic low. If this trend continues, the country could face economic and cultural turmoil. We've learned what happens to a country when this economic or cultural crisis happens. We've seen it in the examples given previously of Japan and France. We would like to leave this presentation on a note where we encourage you to do your own research, to learn about these subjects, because it's something that's happening today because it hurt us as a nation. We would like to thank you for listening, and we would like to give a special thank you to our professor for encouraging us to learn on this subject that is so important.